Hey, Brian Mackenzie. So this is a pretty important video, or something that we've really been asked to do a lot of, to talk about. Since we've done a lot of work in this area, we're going to talk about the tactical athlete and programming for it. And make this as simple as possible, and then try not to complicate that. So when we take a look at a traditional athlete within our structure, whether that be single sport, double sport, or three sport, our main template is trying to get somebody to do strength and conditioning for 4 to 6 days a week. Okay, on a three-sport athlete cycle, it is really tough to get somebody to do 4 strength and conditioning or CrossFit workouts in a week, on top of what they're already having to do 2 workouts at least for each sport. So take 3 sports, there you got 6 workouts, then you got to top in 4 CrossFit workouts. Okay. We always want to prioritize skill or technique within what it is we're doing, and then ramp up the intensity. This will always allow you to still develop an aerobic base and all of that stuff if properly done. Just going out and going past that and ignoring technique will find trouble. So, bringing you into the tactical athlete, we have to look at what sport specificity is, okay? And within that system, what we look at is load, okay? Or with most of these athletes we're looking at, or within this job structure, you're rucking or you're carrying load, you're carrying weapons, you're carrying other things, you're loading yourself down. So how are you supposed to train with that? So what we found within our training is, and what we've successfully implemented, is finding that 4 to 6 CrossFit workouts a week, which we're still following that same system of CrossFit. On top of that, what we're seeing is 1 to 2 interval cycles or 1 to 2 stamina sessions. And those sessions can implement this load, and I'll get into that in a second. But we have to prioritize all of this stuff. Whether going in and doing heavy lifts or Olympic weightlifting is taking priority over how it is you're covering a long distance with a lot of load on you. Okay, so if you're carrying a 40-pound, 60-pound, 80-pound ruck, and you're having to carry that for days on end or many hours on end, how much is that, going in Olympic weightlifting or doing a lot of Olympic weightlifting helping that? And that's what we need to look at. And yes, Olympic weightlifting does help that, but to what degree are you taking that Olympic weightlifting or prioritizing this stuff to help with that rucking or that load carrying, weight bearing stuff? Okay, so looking at how we deal with that, we want to take the load and apply it to at least 1 CrossFit workout a week. Okay, so where we're throwing on a weight vest, or we've got a ruck on. I would just use a weight vest within the CrossFit workout just so we've got something strapped down. Or one load-bearing either interval session or 1 load-bearing stamina. That could be a ruck as well, a slower ruck, but with load, trying to go as hard as you can for as long as you can, okay? And not going out further than what you actually can handle mechanically, or not breaking down to the point of where you're going to pick up a lot of poor habits, okay? We want to progress that effectively, and technique and skill have to become a paramount thing with that, especially when we're carrying load, because what we will see is with intensity, load, or volume, you're going to see those technical flaws that are going to start to occur. And where do they start to occur? You can lift as much weight as you want, but where do those flaws start to appear, where we start to see those breakdowns in everything we see? Okay, the same thing is going to go with the interval training. If you're running outside of your speeds that you can handle and you can't handle it, you're not recovering enough, you're breaking down into different motor patterns, you're picking up new patterns that are basically setting you up for injury. We want to correct that, we want to pull back, we want to set it up so that you're actually progressing through this in a prioritized manner. Okay, so within this whole tactical athlete thing, we're looking to have at least 4 to 6 CrossFit sessions a week, 1 to 2 interval cycles, and 1 to 2 stamina sessions. The 1 to 2 flip-flops between either of these, okay? So if you're doing 2 interval cycles, you do 1 stamina, or if you're doing 1 interval cycle, maybe you're doing 2 stamina, okay? Where you'd be taking out to longer distances. What are those longer distances? How much can you handle? How long before you start to break down? These are big questions, and you have to be able to answer that as an athlete or within your job, how well you are functioning at those longer distances, okay? So this is why this is actually where we see this program start to really have an effect with guys within these within this structure. It does carry out a lot quicker, a lot better, and we keep them a lot stronger when we start dealing with this stuff. Not to mention figuring out all of that stuff with your mobility prioritization as well, knowing where you are tight, knowing where you're breaking down, what you need to work on, taking care of that stuff, taking care of your body when you're out there, and allowing this to progress. So it's the same kind of structure, and you may be doing 3 sports as well within these communities. We see a lot of guys doing triathlon or even single sport, but the fact of the matter is this takes on a single sport mentality within our structure, except all you're going to add is a load twice a week, okay? And that has to be separated in a manner that your body can handle it, okay? Simple. Keep it simple.